Very often in life, we move about carrying energies that don't even belong to us. We react, we respond, we attract things based on energies that were never ever yours.
Meet Aishwarya Singh, a gifted psycho-spiritual coach who has seen the unseen since early childhood. She works through the emotional and karmic body and into ancestral layers across timelines, gently shifting the unseen influences behind relationships, money, health, self-worth, and identity. Transcending through psyche and frequency, she brings about real change that people can feel and live often within days. How do I know what are the kind of vibrations I'm creating and can I really change them?
I want to manifest XYZ. But if your vibrations are not in tune with what you want to attract, how will that happen? How do you know this? Check in with your nervous system. How is your body behaving? We have stopped talking to our body entirely.
So when somebody believes that they are positive but they're actually not, how does that work?
First and foremost, please ये positive word अपनी dictionary से हटा दीजिए. It's a beautiful word. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with the word, but it tends to put you not only into delusion, but it creates this sense of pressure around you. कि नहीं मुझे ये ठीक ही करना है. पर कोई चीज़ बिगड़ी हुई क्यों है वो तो देखो.
What is it that that person needs to do to realize the reality that no, you are not actually, you're just on the surface level and you need to go beyond.
Your body is dying to talk to you. People who are into corporate jobs, how they feel the minute they know a vacation is coming up. That sense of relaxation, that sense of freedom.
How do you understand whether this is something that needs to be sorted out or this is a relationship that I need to walk out of?
If that relationship has turned into a place where you are constantly belittled, judged, criticized, and basically not allowed to be you, when that relationship is no longer a safe space for you. Safety is not physical safety.
Right.
Are you emotionally safe?
Women have this tendency to feel the guilt, mom guilt, wife guilt, every time they feel guilty when they do something for their own pleasure or if something goes wrong around them.
Guilt is a man-made emotion. It was never supposed to exist, ever. It's a tool of control. What does it do for women? It teaches you self-abandonment. You choose to abandon yourself because guess what? Let's feel guilty. Why? Who asked you to feel guilty? What guilt? Why guilt? Guilt doesn't need to exist.
Is disease also something that is created by our vibrations?
Absolutely.
I mean, even the serious ones? There are a lot of people who just want to hold on to this little problem that they have and keep talking about it, that, oh, I have this pain. See, I'm working through the pain.
You're allowed to be the victim in a powerful space. It gives you attention, it gives you validation, it gives you kindness that you were denied. But when you have something major, then your organ is talking to you. Please listen.
Let's say there's a problem with relationship or there's a problem with health or there is a problem with work. You want to create vibrations in your life and you want to work on those frequencies where you want to be successful. What kind of healing work can they actually go for? बात कर ली हमने हाँ?
Now I've lost my thought process.
Welcome, Aishwarya.
Thank you for having me.
It's so nice to have you on the show, and I believe you work a lot with vibrations and energies. So, एक चीज़ मुझे सबसे पहले बताइए that when you walk into a room, like today you walked into this room and all of us are here, तो इससे पहले कि कोई आपसे बात भी करना शुरू करे, what is it that you notice about them?
Their energies, literally their energies, their aura, whether there are leaks in that energy, is it even their own energy or are they carrying someone else's energy? Very often in life, we move about carrying energies that don't even belong to us. We react, we respond, we attract things based on energies that were never ever yours.
What are the energies that you picked up from me today?
So honestly, today was a teaching moment for me, myself as well, because the moment I entered, a version of me, a younger version of me who had certain dreams that were never fulfilled, she came up. So my own energy dipped. But your energies were so high that I happily anchored into your energies,
Okay.
getting in touch with my own truth that, you know what, this is a reality that I want to live. So your energies were very high. Your space has energies that are very grounding. It's not difficult for a person to be around you and be up in the air. They can come down, they can feel grounded because you're very certain of what you are doing. You know, when I was told that I'm going to come here, I was so glad because the kind of emotional space you are creating for people is something that everyone needs today. Emotional safety is not present in the world, and that's what you are cultivating here today.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to hear that. And I hope that you and I together are able to create a difference in a lot of people's lives
Yes,
and
please.
create that emotional space that you're talking about.
Yes.
तो आप जब हम लोग फोन पे बात कर रहे थे, you said that we all operate from the vibrations that we create.
Yes.
What does that exactly mean? How do I know what are the kind of vibrations I'm creating and can I really change them?
Okay. So, you know how you're sitting right now? You're in your element. You know who you are, you know what you are. When we walk about our day in general, if you've had a conversation with someone, a difficult conversation or a fight, the vibrations get wonky.
Right.
You become very reactive. Now, that vibration doesn't disappear just because you walk out from that space or you change your thought process or you do something and engage yourself. No, the vibration is still very much inside of you. So, as you go about your day, you will interact with people and that vibration will pass on to them. Now, if they are already in an agitated place, your own vibrations will get more and more agitated. That is what happens. Your vibrations are not centered, your energy is all over the place. You pick up vibrations from others and that overpowers what you actually want to do. So, for example, you want today to be a very productive day. But if your start is not good or you interact with someone who has stronger vibrations than you, then they will pull you into their version, into what is going on with them. And you'll start reacting according to them. You won't be responding anymore. It'll all be reaction based. You know how we say that I want to manifest XYZ.
Yeah.
Okay? Anything you want to manifest. But if your vibrations are not in tune with what you want to attract, how will that happen? How do you know this? Check in with your nervous system. How is your body behaving? How are you feeling? We have stopped talking to our body entirely. And your body is the first place any vibration, any frequency anchors. Your brain reacts according to how your body is behaving. So if I'm comfortable today sitting with you, I will automatically channel divine energy or I will channel thoughts that need to be communicated from me to whoever is listening to this.
Okay.
But if I am scattered, if my vibrations are all over the place, for example, I'm anchoring into a person who doesn't believe I will do well, that's where everything goes for a toss.
तो ये चीज कैसे, how can you control this? Because I don't want to check into somebody else's vibrations who doesn't want well for me.
Exactly.
So how do I do that?
Very, very simple. Whenever a vibration is off, you'll know it. Don't deny your knowing. Don't gaslight yourself into thinking, ये तो बहुत छोटी चीज़ है, I don't need to worry about it, I'll get back to normal. That doesn't happen.
Give me an example of this.
For example, you're having an argument with your partner.
Okay.
Okay, it's a simple argument. It could be something related to the household help or anything. I'll get over this. Okay, you're anyways worked up पहले ही that there is a problem and then it's led to an argument. ठीक है, ये तो रोज होता रहता है. Let me leave it aside and you walk out to carry on with your day. You're not going to carry on with your day the way you think you will.
Right.
Things आगे will either have interruptions or you'll have interactions with people where you want to work out that energy to come back to center. So the moment you realize, okay, I'm having an argument with him today, instead of walking out, let me sit, let me take 30 seconds to dismantle this. Why has this got me worked up? As humans, we are conditioned to not dismantle. We refuse to dismantle feelings, emotions, arguments. And when that happens, everything slowly starts getting misaligned. You may not see things today, but over the course of time, you will realize there is a misalignment somewhere.
So it's like saying, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
It literally is like that because people say ki सुबह से ही आई वोक अप ऑन द रॉन्ग साइड ऑफ द बेड, सुबह ये हुआ फिर ये हुआ. सो यू आर बेसिकली सेइंग कि एक बार जब आपकी एनर्जीज मिसअलाइन होती हैं, you need to sit down and settle and
Just take a
center your.
minute. Just take a minute.
And what do you have to do to actually just make sure कि आगे का दिन अच्छा रहे? And
I love this. So there's this phrase that I use when I work with my clients. Whose truth are you anchoring into? When you say मेरा दिन ही खराब जाने वाला है, आपने ये बोल दिया है, ये आपका तो नहीं है, कहीं तो सुना होगा, कभी तो सुना होगा, किसके वर्ड्स हैं जिन्होंने ये कहा है, ये आज हो गया, अब तो ये दिन गया मेरा. Whose truth are you living? Is it your truth? No, you don't want to have a bad day, right? Can you make a conscious choice ki, okay, this is not my truth, or rather, this was my truth for this hour. From 10 a.m. onwards, that's not my truth. Take a couple of deep breaths. That's all you need. Feel the floor. Feel the earth. Invoke earth or invoke the sun. How do you invoke the sun? Close your eyes. Visualize literally the ball of fire around you. The tendrils that will go out, the flames will burn the negativity, and you're centered. It's that simple.
I actually love that because, you know, I'll give you an example. I was traveling and yesterday I had a flight back to Mumbai, and some people that I met at the lounge, सब flights जो थी airport पे बहुत delay हो रही थी and बहुत rush था. So they said कि सुबह से हमारी flight take off नहीं हुई है. सुबह 7 बजे की flight थी, अब शाम की 7 की हो गई है. Still don't know whether it's going to take off on time. My flight was 6:30 in the evening and I had to shoot today. And it was a 3.5 hour long flight, and I was thinking, suddenly what you're saying is absolutely right, because suddenly I was probably taking their vibrations and thinking flight और late हो जाएगी तो बहुत रात हो जाएगी, what time will I reach home, will I have to go straight to the set, how is going to happen? And then suddenly I said, no, why am I doing this to myself? मेरी एयरलाइन ने मुझे कुछ नहीं बोला है, why am I holding on to somebody else's truth, because उनके साथ हुआ है, that's why they are believing it, why should I believe it? And I told them, don't worry, मेरी flight time पर है, and it was on time.
That's all you needed. In spite of so many people, you chose not to anchor into their reality. You created your own reality and it happened for you. Does this happen most of the time? Yes. 80% of the times, I'm not kidding you, Chavi, you decide your reality and the universe will make it your reality. The 20% of the times that it doesn't happen, that is when something needs to be worked upon. Something inside your own body, your nervous system, your emotional body, your karmic body needs resolution. So yes, you have the 20% bit. So, when you say, no, I was all positive, I thought mera ho jayega, and it doesn't happen, that's not when you get disheartened. That is when you decide, no, there's something here, there's a kink here that I'm not able to see. And you work it out, you remove it, you release that energy which is not moving. That's the whole point.
बट एक चीज़ बताइए कि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हमें लगता है कि हम बहुत पॉजिटिव हैं, but somewhere deep down inside it's actually not true. So it's like manifestation. A lot of people say कि if you keep saying it, you're manifesting it, but you can't keep saying something that you don't actually believe, and if you don't believe it, how is it going to manifest? So when somebody believes that they are positive but they're actually not, how does that work?
First and foremost, please, ये positive word अपनी dictionary से हटा दीजिए. It's a beautiful word. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with the word, but it tends to put you not only into delusion, but it creates this sense of pressure around you. कि नहीं, मुझे ये ठीक ही करना है.
Right.
अरे पर कोई चीज़ बिगड़ी हुई क्यों है, वो तो देखो. आप पॉजिटिव होके मैनिफेस्ट थोड़ी कर सकते हो. आपकी एनर्जीज चेंज होगी पॉजिटिव होने से, होएगी. कौन सी? सरफेस लेवल ऑन एनर्जीज.
Okay.
पर उसके नीचे भी तो देखो. So we have our physical body, and most of our focus is on the physical body. Now, thanks to amazing spaces like yours that you've created, people are working on the mind as well. But mind के पीछे भी कुछ है. There's something called your emotional body. There's something called your karmic body. There are so many blockages in our emotional body because since we are born, रेगुलर बेसिस पे, हर एज पे, हर टाइम पे ऐसी चीज़ें होती रहती है दैट शॉक योर नर्वस सिस्टम. कोई इमोशन आपने सप्रेस किया है, उसका क्या होगा? वो सप्रेस होके अंदर रहेगा ना, वो कहीं जाएगा तो नहीं. तो वो सब जो चीज़ें हैं, दे विल ऑलवेज प्रिवेंट यू फ्रॉम बीइंग पॉजिटिव. सो सरफेस लेवल पे इफ़ यू आर पॉजिटिव, यू विल मैनिफेस्ट टू अ सर्टेन अमाउंट. आपको जहाँ पहुँचना है एक लेवल पे आएंगे, बट टेक्निकली एज अ सोल यू आर नॉट सपोज टू हैव अ कैप.
Okay.
When that stops, that is when you start looking at these other bodies, that what blocks am I not able to see? मुझे क्या release करना है? Why can't I manifest XYZ? You also have to check in with yourself. आपका जो dream है, आपका जो वो goal है, is it yours or is it someone else's reality that they hoped for you?
As in, like, parents, for
Yes,
example.
absolutely.
Like, I know that my parents just knew. I mean, I just knew that I'll grow up and become a singer.
Wow.
And I did my master's in Indian classical vocal music because that was the path for me, which my parents had chosen. And yes, I was a child prodigy. I was a really good singer. But I think somewhere I realized that this is not something I want to do. You know,
Right.
I probably enjoy more being in front of the camera. So maybe this is something I want to explore. Wow. So, but again, I'm asking कि अगर ऐसा कोई है जो बिलीव कर रहा है कि मैं पॉजिटिव हूँ, मैं तो कर रहा हूँ, मैं तो सब कुछ क्यों नहीं मेरे साथ हो रहा? Then what is it that that person needs to do to realize the reality that no, you are not actually, you're just on the surface level and you need to go beyond? What is it that can actually make the person realize that?
You know, Chavi, your body is dying to talk to you. Just right now, you said, I did everything what my parents wanted, and I realized I want to be in front of the camera. You literally have to ask your body, whose reality is this? I promise you there will be an answer. I promise you on that. It's never occurred in the 20 years that I've worked where I've asked this question, whose reality are you living and whose truth are you living? That there is no answer. Your psyche, your body, there will always be an answer. You know how blessed you are that you had parents who wanted to push you in a place that you were already aligned with. Unfortunately, India mein, that's very, very rare. 90% of the times, parents have already decided, bacha ye kar raha hai, bacha ye nahi kar raha hai. And God forbid, if the parents are overachievers or extremely successful, the pressure is insane. And if they are not, the pressure is 3 times more.
Oh.
वो बच्चे की reality already decided होती है. The child is not allowed to discover himself or herself.
So ये जो आप बोल रहे हो कि physically you can, your body is going to tell you, like, what are the
Yes.
signs that you should look out for, physical signs?
I'm going to take this back to you. When you were done with singing and you saw the camera or you came on it, how did your body feel when it was in front of the camera?
Okay, amazing. So in front of the camera, I always got very excited. Like, I could feel the rush of energy in my body. And I think before a stage performance of my singing, I would be very, how should I put it, very stressed. A lot of stress I would feel, and the whole pressure of not eating this, not eating that, not drinking cold water, and I would just be waiting कि ये कब performance खत्म हो, कब मैं जाके coke पीऊँ या ठंडा कुछ पीऊँ या ice cream खाऊँ. And because I started singing also at a very, very young age, so my entire childhood was stressful in that sense. But in front of the camera, I was always comfortable and I felt, oh, relaxed, like this is where I belong.
See, this is called alignment. In spite of the excitement you felt, there will be this tiny, tiny bit of calm inside of you that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I feel when I work with someone. There are times when I will do a session. If it's a reading I'm doing, I'll pull out cards and I will say something out of the blue, something that is not related at all, but it will resonate with my client. So when someone is doing something, the best time to do this is when someone is young, with a child or someone who's even 13, 14. They're being pushed to study or to appear for an exam. Sit with them. Just ask them, is this your reality? Simple. They won't have an answer because they don't know what is the alternate. But you will see it in their body. The minute you say, this is your reality, you have to do this. I'm not kidding, Chavi. Place your hands like 3 inches away and you will feel the density or the heat or something literally radiating out of their body. And the minute you tell someone, what if this was not your truth? You will see it physically in their posture. Their body will relax. You know how we get, how people who are into corporate jobs, how they feel the minute they know a vacation is coming up? That sense of relaxation, that sense of freedom. everyone feels bound when you are not doing what is supposed to be your reality. Everyone has that binding. And there's this clock that keeps running. I have to do this. There's this to-do list. ये करना है. मुझे यहाँ जाना है. ये achieve करना है. पूरे targets बने हुए हैं आपके. But when it is about living in your reality, living in your truth, those targets are not targets. It's excitement. Next, I'll unlock this. Next, I'll open this. Next, I'll do this.
I can actually relate to that very well, because when I started out as a singer, then I started hosting on television for many years. Then I started acting, and then I started creating content. Then I started my podcast, and I could actually feel the excitement while doing every single thing. And I felt that my reality is actually changing, and this is how I'm growing, and this is how I'm changing as a person. Now, my question to you is, when you're a child, you're free to do what you want, okay, unless of course you have parental pressure and all of that. But when you're in a relationship and you feel your energy is changing, and you feel that your partner's alignment is different from yours, what does that actually mean for you as a person or for the relationship?
So relationships come in two forms. You either are with a karmic partner, or you're with a soul partner.
What is the difference?
A karmic partner is someone who's meant to teach you. He's literally like your teacher who has come into your life to create lessons for you, to work through things that you've not worked on in this lifetime or in previous lifetimes.
Okay.
Not just for you, but even for those who were born before you. So, Chavi, the person you are today, the questions that you're getting answers to, they weren't just yours. They were also your mums, your grandmums, and all your ancestors who came before.
Okay.
Just a conversation can also release so much. So imagine marrying a person. Now, if that person is aligned with you, then oh my God, it's beautiful, because you will evolve into a soul that at one point even you won't recognize. That I was someone else 10 years ago, and I'm someone completely different 10 years later. But if it is a karmic partnership, it can get difficult, because at first the lessons will be very small. Chote arguments, choti cheezein, which of course, as most women do, you brush aside. Ki ye to normal hai, main handle kar lungi. But when things get more and more, there is a lesson that you are refusing to learn. Why? Women are nurturers, caregivers, caretakers. So automatically they take on the reality of their partner. So what the partner has started thinking about you, you've started believing about yourself. And based on that, your thinking changes to what your partner is. So I have a lot of clients who say, मैं कितना भी कर लूँ, वो सुधरता ही नहीं है, वो बदलता ही नहीं है. दूसरों को नहीं दिखता what his reality is, but I know it. And then women will start gaslighting themselves. In some cases, men too, but mostly women. You gaslight yourself into believing कि नहीं यार, यही मेरी reality है, ये ऐसा ही है, मेरे साथ यही होगा. That's not true. You anchored into a reality that your partner created, and then you made it your reality. At what point did you stop checking in? What do you need? What do you need from A, yourself, B, the relationship, and then C, the partner that you have? That's what happens in relationships. You stop asking those questions. If your relationship is getting from bad to worse, you don't want to dismantle only. Either you'll blame कि I do so much, why doesn't he? ये सुनता क्यों नहीं, सुधरता क्यों नहीं? Or where am I going wrong? What more can I do? ऐसा तो है ही नहीं है ना. आप बैठो, dismantle तो करो. Problem क्या है? Which part of you is this person triggering? आपकी कौन सी insecurity ऊपर आ रही है, और वो insecurity आपकी भी है क्या? So many times we end up mimicking our own parents' relationships, our siblings' relationships, and if you have a best friend, you'll even mimic their relationship. Notice, I'm sure you would have also observed, if you're close to someone, have you ever seen that there's a problem happening in their life and suddenly it starts showing up in your life? Why?
So when this is happening in your relationship, okay, now when you're sitting in the relationship, it's very difficult to understand कि ये चीज़ जो है, ये actual एक problem है. I can create these vibrations and sort this out. How do you understand whether this is something that needs to be sorted out, or this is a relationship that I need to walk out of?
when the situation is all about figuring out a solution or getting out of the mess or creating harmony, then obviously you can work on that. But if that relationship has turned into a place where you are constantly belittled, judged, criticized, and basically not allowed to be you, when that relationship is no longer a safe space for you, that is when you take a step back. See, walking out comes at a much later stage. Because if you're not willing to work on what the issue is, you'll repeat it in any relationship.
Okay.
With your next partner, with your next professional setting, anywhere. Those issues have to be resolved. Why? Because there's a learning for you. You don't learn it from here, you learn it from elsewhere. But that learning needs to come for your soul. So walking out can be halted, but take a step back. Are you safe where you are? Safety is not physical safety.
Right.
Are you emotionally safe? Are you allowed to feel? Or are you just alone with the person you're with? If they are making you feel alone on a regular basis, then there's something deep that has been fractured. And you don't deserve that. Why do you feel you deserve that? Why do you want to stay in a space where you feel alone? Can you be with a partner and not feel alone? Yes. Can you have a partner who doesn't have the same interests as you and yet be in a good relationship? Yes. You don't have to do everything with your partner. You don't have to have every commonality with your partner. No. Allow your relationship to breathe. How much pressure have you created on your partner and vice versa? You have to see that. And whose reality is it? Who are you mimicking? Have you created your own relationship, or is it a relationship that you've seen, heard, felt before?
My God. So that's a lot of work that you need to internally do on yourself first. When you say sit back, that's what you mean, right? What do you mean when
Yes
you say
and no,
step
because
back?
it's not something you need to sit and do for 2 hours, 5 hours every day. No, it's a daily thing. Just sit. Every day is not going to be a bad day in your relationship. And if it is, then you're definitely doing a lot of work, and don't do it by yourself because you'll feel all the more alone.
And can I just like create vibrations in my life to retain a partner who's not working out for me? And should I be doing that?
To retain a partner who's not working
Like,
out for you.
yeah.
Yes.
Should I be creating?
No.
Can I? No. Okay.
What is it going to bring for you? Also, I love that. Whose truth is that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm asking. A lot of people do that because I see a lot of people around who are just sticking. And I have this website, Being Woman with Chavi, where I get these anonymous questions. And most of these questions are from women who are stuck in these marriages where the husband evidently does not want to be with them, or is, I don't know why they are together, but they just want to know, how can I hold on to this guy?
Right? First and foremost, you know for a fact that for today's day and age, it is not meant to be her reality. You can clearly see she's mimicking someone else, where irrespective of how I am treated, I want to stay in this marriage.
Could it be because this has been going on for generations and generations, and this is what you see around you?
Ancestral baggage that you carry. Number one, this is where energy work comes in. You work on the ancestral line before you. You've inherited it. Does it mean you need to repeat what they did? No. You get your energies cleansed. You cut the cords from them because you're living out their life. Are you supposed to live it out the way they wanted? No. They also want freedom, those who came before you. But you're choosing to hold on. So now, if you don't want to walk out, you don't want to leave, shift your energies. Some part of your energies are anchored into that awful, awful behavior. Consciously? No. It's just been a reality you are familiar with. Cut those cords, cleanse those energies. You create space where different energies can enter. At least start with that. Sometimes what happens, Chavi, and not often, but I would say 10% of the people I work with, when your energies shift, when you get a cleanse done on all these levels, mental, emotional, ancestral, karmic, the person opposite you shifts. Why does he shift? Obviously, you're with a karmic partner. But that soul is provided with a choice from their guides that you can either continue to be a karmic partner or you can evolve to a soul partner. When that happens, beauty, help, love, compassion can exist in that relationship as well. And if that partner chooses not to evolve, remain a karmic partner, something will happen that either the relationship will dissolve automatically or there will be enough space and distance for you to exist without dying on a daily basis.
Okay. Wow. I again want to ask you कि lot of people today feel that, like you're saying, this is karmic baggage or this is ancestral baggage, that you feel that no, you need to stick with this relationship. Still can't understand कि कैसे पता कैसे चलता है कि no, this is something which can be worked on, कि मतलब is there some kind of physical sign that you see that no, this is something which I should not be working on, or is it something that can change with healing work?
Everything can change with healing work.
What exactly is healing work? What are the different aspects of it?
Healing, in simple terms, is where you stop carrying the weight that has been pulling you down.
Okay.
Okay? As a soul, we're supposed to be free, unbound, and at ease at all times. You know how in a body, when something goes wrong, you have a disease, right? That's disease. So when you are in a relationship and you constantly feel contracted, when you realize your breathing is shallow, to take a deep breath, you have to make conscious effort. Have you seen children? They aren't shallow breathers. They aren't. Have you seen children, the way they run around, the way they behave?
Yeah.
That is how relationships are supposed to be. When did it become such a bind? Why is it such a bind? It's never supposed to be a bind. To be with a person is to be you or to be a version of you that you never thought was possible, but in a positive manner, not a negative manner. If you feel you are constantly feeling awful or going down a path that doesn't make you happy being you, that's not what
Okay.
you asked for, right? Nobody
Okay.
asked for that. And yet, that is what you see almost everywhere around you. Because relationship है, we have to be in it. बहुत मुश्किल से relationship बनती है, बहुत मुश्किल से शादी होती है. एक तो ये phrase itself is so screwed up. Why? मुश्किल से कुछ नहीं होता है. What is the worst? Walk out. Who said you won't find another partner? I'm sitting here, you'll find another partner. It's what I do. I love cleansing energies in a way that it aligns you to live a timeline that you want to live. I have multiple clients who've stuck it out, and in literally 1 year, their life has done a proper 180 degrees. From the wife who was beaten down, abused, and mind you, this is a very successful individual. She makes over 50, 60 lakhs a month. So financially sound, and yet treated like an absolute doormat. It changes her life to where the husband can do whatever the hell he wants. She's unaffected. She can call him out, and no one's walking out of the marriage.
Really?
Yes. What I'm
Wow.
trying to tell you is, even if you have everything, you could still have things going to shit in your relationship. Why was it happening for her? Ancestral baggage, mimicking her own parents' life, not to mention the husband, who wasn't a bad husband, was actually projecting his father's reality into his marriage. That no, I have to treat her like that.
And
What
unknowingly.
happens? Yes, you're not conscious of your patterns. The moment we are born, we are told our gender, we are given a name, we are told our caste, we are told what is right, we are told what is wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, and I believe it is probably till the age of 8 maximum that you are allowed to explore your reality. After that, every single person decides for you. अच्छा, he's a good runner, sports में डाल दो, पढ़ाई में अच्छा है, science में डाल दो. अरे ये तो बहुत sensitive है, इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. Look at it. आपकी reality कहाँ है? आपका truth कहाँ है? कौन बताता है what do you want, what do you like? And with relationships, coming back to it after traveling all over, check in with yourself. What do I like about this relationship? What do I want from this relationship? Who am I in this? Do I have a space in this relationship? Most women don't have space in their own relationship. Take care of the house, take care of the children, take care of the husband, take care of his parents, take care of his family, take care of the expectations put on you. Hi,
Yeah.
what about me? Does anyone come and ask you? Have you
Correct.
noticed in India, when the husband works, the wife loves asking, how was your day? What
Yeah.
happened? How often does the guy do that? How often? How often does any partner check in with his girlfriend or his wife? What's going on? Yeah, how was your day? How often? And you know what? We don't do it ourselves. How often do you check in with yourself? So, when you asked me, what can we do for our vibrations? Maybe set an alarm. If not very often, at least once before you go to bed. How was I today? How was my day today? And then check in. Whose vibration did I anchor into? Whose truth did I absorb today? Now, if it's a good truth, by all means absorb it. If it's not, reject it there and then.
Nice. Nice. Amazing. You know what? I was just, when you were talking about this, I was just thinking about what is the pattern with me. And I think I have, knowingly or unknowingly, I always think about my own responsibility in everything that's happening around me. And I have a habit of doing that. And I feel guilty for something not going right. If the child falls, I feel maybe I left something there and I should have been more careful. Why did I let him wear those shoes? Or, if the food is not okay or anything. I just keep trying to find my own fault in it and I keep trying to blame myself for it. What is it that, and I know that in India, or maybe world over, women have this tendency to feel the guilt, mom guilt, wife guilt. Every time they feel guilty when they do something for their own pleasure or if something goes wrong around them. क्या करना चाहिए कि ऐसा ना हो? इस पैटर्न को ब्रेक करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
So, when you say the word guilt, I've suffered from it for a very long part of for a very large part of my life. I then had a guide and I channeled a certain truth from an ascended master, whatever you want to call it. Guilt is a man-made emotion. It was never supposed to exist, ever. It's a tool of control. What does it do for women? It teaches you self-abandonment. Simple. You choose to abandon yourself because guess what? Let's feel guilty. Why? Who asked you to feel guilty? You're a soul and so is your child, so is every child. If the child is falling down, that soul wants to fall down, no? Did you push the soul? Even if you push that child is supposed to learn something. What guilt? Why guilt? Guilt doesn't need to exist. Why do you feel guilty? To make yourself feel inferior in this situation.
My God, amazing.
Women have been conditioned, forced, and constantly pushed into feeling inferior, whereas it is obviously the opposite. Can you imagine how long back that comes from into us? So guilt is nothing but a tool to feel inferior. How often do you catch men feeling guilty?
Wow. Yeah, I get it.
You don't.
There are so many things which are okay for men to do and not okay for women to do.
But once again,
just like that.
it's not okay for them also. But why has it been made okay? Because there's no guilt. When you feel guilty, you hand over your power, no? Take it from me, make me feel bad. Because I have been conditioned to feel bad. Simple.
And everyone's okay with the woman feeling guilty.
Yeah, because she's okay. That is her default setting. When you have been glorified into being a caretaker, a giver, a nurturer, and if, God forbid, you stop doing that for a few minutes, guilt. Because something will go wrong there and then. To reinforce, no, 24/7, you have to be this. Why do you have to be this? Who told you? Whose truth is this? Simple. Whose truth is this? It's not yours. Inferiority is definitely not your truth, Shavi, or any other females. Why? The responsibility that you force yourself to take is once again not yours. You've been told, be responsible, do this. Now, this is where I talk about dismantling. Why do you want to be responsible? Why do you want to feel guilty? See, your consent allows the guilt in. And why do we need guilt? It is one of the worst vibrations possible. It
Yeah.
messes up your aura entirely. It literally brings your emotional body from a standing upright body to a sitting, fallen down on the floor body. And when that happens, it makes your reality weak, allowing the so called men and their vibrations to anchor into you and tell you to function according to them.
And what about regret? A lot of times we just
Man-made.
guilt and then regret.
Man made. Tool to manipulate you, tool to exploit you. Once again, how often do men feel regret? How often do children feel regret? Children, everyone agrees, are literally divine incarnate till a certain age.
Yeah.
Do they feel regret?
Never.
No. If something has gone horribly wrong, there's something for you to learn. What are you going to do by regretting?
True.
And this is something I have taught myself through a lot of pain. Because again, as human, regret is always at the back of the mind. I missed this. I could have done more. I
Yeah.
could have this. Why?
Yeah.
You are exactly where you need to be. You're exactly doing what you need to do. You know, even if you hurt someone, there is an unknowing consent in their energies. Of course, I'm talking about simple things, not insane amounts of violence. That's a different story altogether. But regret? No. Guilt and regret are two things that were never meant to exist ever.
And tell me that when we are talking about healing and relationships के बाद की अगर हम बात करें, if you talk about health, like in the middle you mentioned disease, is disease also something that is created by our vibrations?
Absolutely.
I mean, even the serious ones like cancer or the life-threatening ones?
Everything. As I started in the beginning with, the body wants to talk to you. When your energies are so suppressed, taken, abused, your body is going to fight. Your body is not supposed to fall ill. When it does, and whichever organ it is talking to you. It tells you. For example, I had a client who had the worst possible cysts in her womb. What is womb? Womb is your seat of creation. What was it doing for her instead? Creating more of shame, betrayal, ancestral pain. The minute you cleanse those energies, at least give your body a chance to heal. But no, are you going to talk to your body when you're in pain, when you're battling a disease? No, who does it? At least give yourself a chance to understand there is something else at play. 100% energies, maybe not. Genetics play a role. And then there's also how people use disease as a new identity they want.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who just want to hold on to this
Yeah.
little problem that they have and keep talking about it, that, oh, I have this pain. See, I'm working through the pain. And, people like to glorify the little problem that they have.
They need a new identity.
What does it do for them? And what does it do for them in the long run?
You're allowed to be the victim in a powerful space. It gives you attention. It gives you validation. It gives you kindness that you were denied. Constantly.
So would you say that people who are denied that kind of kindness?
Absolutely. They'll have something minor. But when you have something major, then your organ is talking to you. Please listen.
And can healing actually cure these things physically as well?
It does. Yes, it does. In a lot of cases, I have seen it. Obviously, I would not say don't work with your doctor. Things
Right.
get worse.
Right.
But it does, because it is a break in your vibrational field. It is your body screaming for attention. If it's a disease, if it's a illness that is really, really difficult to deal with, someone is screaming.
Absolutely.
Who's screaming? Your body is screaming. You refuse to communicate.
I think I believe that a lot because in my case, when I had breast cancer 3 years ago, physically there was really nothing wrong. I did not even see any symptoms, so to speak, but I know that it happened, right? And I had to go through the whole treatment, and it kind of made me, I haven't done any healing work, but I did do a lot of internal work, and I spent a lot of time alone with myself trying to think where I went wrong. There are a lot of patterns that I studied in my own life, like guilt, for example. Regret is also a big thing. Anger is a huge thing. And these are things that I have worked on. Some of them I have Some of them I'm still working on. But I know that there is something, some kind of energy that I'm creating in my body which created the cancer, because physically everything was fine. So now tell me that if somebody does have a problem, okay, let's say there's a problem in the relationship, or there's a problem with health, or there is a problem with work, okay, you want to create vibrations in your life and you want to work on those frequencies where you want to be successful, you want to start this new business and you want it to be successful. What kind of healing work can they actually go for? What are the different techniques that you use as a healer?
Before I answer this,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, can I ask you what cancer did you have? If you're okay with me diving a little bit into this, because you're capable of doing the internal work.
It was breast cancer.
Okay. May I ask if it was left or right?
It was the right breast.
Okay. The right breast is all about external energies projected onto you. It is about giving and nurturing all the life force outside. There's a lack of receiving. When it goes out and out and out and out, you stop. Where is your breast? It's on the heart axis. It's all about nurturing. When you nurture the outside, but no energy is inside, what's it going to show up like? How else would you have stopped? And very often breast cancer does come to women who are strong, capable, accomplished. How else do you get them to stop? How else do you get them to look at themselves?
I'm just getting goosebumps when you're saying it, because the first realization that I had about me was that I'm just working. I'm not taking a break. And I was kind of just drunk on my work. I was not spending any time with myself. Everything was about deadlines. And that is the first change that I made in my life. I started delegating and I started telling myself, okay, today is a day I don't want to work. Let it all go to hell. I'll look at it tomorrow, but today is my day. I actually do that now.
Do you know how beautiful that is? And you pass through it and you're absolutely perfect today.
Yeah.
So for you, it was just a stop. It was nothing else. You were never going to succumb to it. Your body needed your attention. That's all it needed. You're capable, yes. But what about being capable for yourself? See, Chavi, you are meant for great things. It's already visible. You're going to accomplish them, come what may. And your body wanted you to remember that. That's all. Women who I've worked with who have breast cancer of the left breast are all about suppressing emotions, taking care of only other people's emotional need. They nurture outside. They receive nothing. No energy coming back at all. They run on a minus. Why is it breast? Breast is where you're nurtured. Nothing else. It's the giving, life-giving energy. It's that space that creates comfort and safety for any individual.
Okay, now tell me, what is the kind
Yes.
of healing work that you do?
I work on bringing clarity and truth into your life. That's the basic crux of what I do.
And how does it happen? Does it happen remotely, or do you need the person in front of you?
I am comfortable either ways. I have a lot of clients I work with who are based out of India because they feel comfortable diving into issues. In India, people would rather hand over control that, hi, XYZ is my issue, energetically, can you fix me? I have no issues doing that. I love doing that as well, because when I work on their energies and then I tell them, this is what I see, I love seeing the look on their face. How are you tapping into these energies? What energies am I talking about? Your mental body, your emotional body, your karmic body. Each of them wants to speak, wants to communicate, wants to release whatever block exists from you living in a timeline that is meant for you. What is a timeline? You and I are talking today. You have a certain vision for yourself, jumping into that timeline, making that happen, making that your reality today. That is what I work mostly with.
So if I tell you that I'm in Mumbai and where are you from?
I am from Bombay, but I'm based in Udaipur right now.
Udaipur. So if I tell you that I need you to work with me, what approach are you going to take with me sitting in Mumbai?
We work online. So
So,
energy work sessions
Like
are
we
done
talk on the
distantly.
phone,
Yes.
or like a video call?
There can be a video call. We talk on the phone. We
And
communicate
then
whatever
do
you're
you
comfortable with.
like send energies remotely?
Yes, I do.
Also,
It's
you do that.
distant energy work.
Okay.
So depending on where you are, if it's energy work that you want to dive into to immediately change your reality, it is done distantly. If you're in a space that you don't understand what the hell is going on, you want clarity, then I channel messages for you. Be it from your body, be it from your higher self, be it from your partner.
Okay.
But that's another thing.
And what do I need to do as the person who's being worked on, sitting here and while you're in Udaipur? What do I need to do? Is there something that I need to do as well?
Yes, I would be giving you steps that would be needed to be done
Okay.
after the energy work. I would need your consent. But energy work is so beautiful, I don't need a lot. I need your physical presence or a picture, your name. That's about it. And consent.
And as an energy worker, do you feel drained when you do
Absolutely,
that?
every single time.
Then what do you do for yourself?
I tend to get very lazy. So that's me getting a hit on my head. You need to take down time. You cannot overdo, because that is what I do. When I'm in this place, I tend to over deliver. I'm one of those people who feels she needs to justify what she's doing, because again, energy work comes with its own hooks. People have their own doubts. So I tend to over deliver, and that drains me. When it drains me, I shut down entirely. I'll disappear for a few days,
Okay.
and that's about it.
And in normal lives, like people like me who are not energy workers, when we try to sort of tackle other people's issues around us, I feel that it's kind of draining at that point also, when you're listening to somebody's problems and absorbing their issues and sort of helping them out in your own way. What is it that we should do as individuals so that our energy is not drained and we are not constantly living off other people's vibrations, and there is a time that we also are finally operating on our own positive vibrations?
So the reason you feel drained is because A, your aura is open.
Yeah.
And when someone is going through something, they're looking for higher vibrations.
Okay.
So they anchor into you to pull your energy to feel better. When you feel that is going to happen, or you're talking to someone, all you need to do is say 3 lines: barriers up, shields up, barriers up, shields up. It's just a command you need to give, and your emotional body will pull up their barriers.
Okay.
If you want something stronger, take 10 seconds. Close your eyes, visualize roots growing from your feet into Gaia. That's it.
Into?
Gaia, Mother Earth.
Okay.
So let your roots go down into Earth. Anchor there. It takes you 10 seconds to do it. That's all. And everything that person is saying, let it pass through your body into the root. Now, obviously, you can't do it while you're talking to someone. The conversation has ended. Close your eyes. Visualize the entire conversation going down into Earth.
And tell me, before we end the session, what is the most common mistake that you see people doing when it comes to their vibrations?
Believing that my suffering has a higher purpose. That's number one. That I need to keep feeling like this. I need to keep living like this. And secondly, there is no help available. That's the biggest lie possible.
But tell me, we've also heard that, I know my mom says that, whatever is you're supposed to go through some suffering, like you're saying, whatever suffering you're supposed to go through, you have to go through it. If you try to avoid it, then you'll get it in the next life. So isn't that true that the suffering that you've got in this life, you should just get it over with once and for all?
Okay, but how do you know how long that suffering is supposed to last? What if that suffering is supposed to just be 20 minutes?
Yeah. How do you know that?
How do you know that? This is where it comes. You know what we're doing? The conversation we're having. Or you'll read a book, or someone will say something. Be aware. You'll know I'm supposed to seek help. You'll be sitting at home, crying, upset, and you'll have a conversation with your friend. Even if that friend says, get some help, yeah, there are people. Or you see someone. So that is your soul telling you help is available. See, if you're supposed to only suffer, you'll be on a bed, suffering. Nobody will come. Nobody will give you a hint. Nobody will say anything. But the reality is your guides are constantly working. You don't know how many times you've worked through this suffering in different lifetimes. As your mama said, agle janam mein karna hai. So there are energy workers like me who will happily open your previous lifetimes and show you you're done. Stop, break. Why are you feeling this in this specific lifetime where there is so much of talk around psychological healing, energy healing, so that you don't.
Okay.
Suffering is not a requirement for anything. Secondly, something that a lot of people aren't aware of, negative energies, negative vibrations.
Yeah.
can also be transmuted into positive vibrations, into windfall of money, into windfall of love, anything, because it's energy. That's all it is.
Okay, I just got distracted with the money part.
Yeah, okay. Let me give you a beautiful example. I have a client who gets a lot of nazar.
Okay.
Psychic attacks, nazar बहुत होते हैं.
हाँ.
And it would always lead to her falling ill, her breaking out, and other things going off in her life जो नहीं होना. And my immediate response would be, कहाँ गई, किससे मिल के आई? In spite of me teaching her tools, she forgets them, she gets hit. Is it that her vibrations are low? Nahi. Some women just carry this thing about them, they're just lucky. And people love pulling that energy and nazar lagana. What do we do for her? Through energy work, the nazar that is coming, it is transmuted into windfall of money. उसके पास बैठे बैठे पैसा आएगा, गिफ्ट्स आएगी, ट्रिप्स आएंगी,
नजर नहीं
she's
लगेगी.
happy. नहीं, क्योंकि वो एनर्जी कहीं तो जाएगी ना.
हाँ.
वो एनर्जी नजर बन के आपके ऑरा में स्टक हो जाती है. बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली आवर ऑरा हैज होल्स इन इट. वो वहाँ लॉज होने की बजाय मैं वही खींच के ट्रांसम्यूट करके let it turn into a result that you want ना. Use that energy. वो तो आ रही है.
Can I like have those kind of like I also believe कि नजर बहुत लगती है
बिल्कुल
मुझे.
लगती
But can I create those vibrations कि अभी आप जितना मर्जी try कर लो मुझे नजर नहीं लगेगी.
100%.
How do I do that?
So very often the people we interact with is a small group. So you know कौन लगाने वाला है. ठीक है? Simple. Before you step out, visualize a mirror around you. That's all you need. Strengthen that mirror. That's it. आंखें बंद करो, मिरर सामने देखो. That's it. जो मुझे जो दे रहा है वो उसके पास वापस जाएगा.
Okay.
And transmute करना है तो whoever is the god, goddess, divine energy you believe in, just invoke their name. ये आपके थ्रू मेरे ऊपर ऐसे बन के गिर रहा है.
Wow.
It's a very simple technique. Try it. Of course, what I do is a lot more detailed, but it is something. Try it. Do it as an experiment, and you will have so much fun.
And what about social media? The nazar which comes to you through social media.
Every single time. So when it is your social media, whenever you post something, every bit of nazar, psychic attack or heavy energy, I now command you to fall on me in the form of more followers, in the form of more revenue, in the form of more wisdom. Will all these three things happen every single time? Yes and no.
Okay.
Depending on what level of success and growth your nervous system is comfortable with, it will transmute it.
Yeah, like there are a lot of times you wanna say that you know I want to be a billionaire, but मुंह से millionaire ही निकलता है. या believe आप millionaire ही कर रहे हो.
Because success is about self-permission.
Right.
आपका nervous system अगर comfortable नहीं है, there will be a cap. Why? Because subconsciously you know the relationships you're in, उनकी loyalties बदल जाएंगी if you reach a certain level of success. If you earn a certain amount of money, वो your loyalties चली जाएंगी. You don't consciously know it, but energetically your body knows, your subconscious knows कि if I were to earn this much, ये चला जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. You're not ready to do that.
So I already asked you my last question, but I'm constantly asking you more and more. एक चीज़ बताइए कि जब कोई बहुत driven है life में कि I wanna you know make like we are talking about money, so I wanna make this much money, I wanna be a billionaire, बहुत बड़ा मुझे business शुरू करना है. लेकिन वो जो जिस from the place that they are coming from is to make somebody jealous or to teach somebody a lesson. कि अच्छा उसने मुझसे ऐसे बात की, मैं दिखाता हूँ या मैं दिखाती हूँ उसको. I'll be more successful than them. So what are the kind of vibrations that they are working on at that point, and what does that mean for their life?
At the moment, it's excellent because they get the driving force.
Okay.
But that driving force will run out at some point, no? It's a fuel.
Okay.
What happens when you actually do become successful? Number one. Number two, if that is not the path that your soul wants, it'll only bring you more obstacles.
Right. Okay.
So you identify there and then. Within days, आपको समझ आ जाएगा. You know, social media is all about followers and all of that.
Yeah.
But if you forget the message that you want to carry, क्या होगा? You may start with, I am competing with so and so, मेरे इतने होने ही हैं. But अगर आपका मैसेज नहीं है तो एक लेवल पे तो आप रुकोगे ना.
That thing has to be
has to.
your truth, like you
It
said.
does. It has to be, exactly. It has to be your truth. And the person who's driven through jealousy, at one point, I feel it's excellent because then you fight. You fight to become something. क्योंकि बैठे बैठे वो ambition नहीं आती है. There has to be a reason, there has to be a motive, because we're not really taught, let's do this because I want to be happy. नहीं. कौन सिखाता है? कौन बोलता है? No, not really.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This conversation was very, very liberating for me. And there are a lot of things that I'm taking away from this conversation today. और ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे, I mean, I don't know. I feel that everything was being spoken to me, about me. I hope you felt that too somewhere, because the things that you spoke about, Aishwarya, were so real. And I think each one of us can take a lot away from this conversation today. So tell me in the comments कि आपके लिए सबसे ज़्यादा relevant portion कौन सा था, and please share this with everybody that you know, because you never know who's waiting to hear this. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to my channel. You're watching Candid Confessions with Chavi. This is both of us signing out. Love and peace from us to you.